All right, let's take a look at that KD ratio. Went down a little bit again, 2.214. I've been trying to take the helicopter skills that I've been practicing to practical effect. I'm holding my own, plus or minus, but it went down a little bit, so that's that one. This Friday's drop, I'm going to address a couple of questions and comments regarding my podcast on friendship and betrayal. But before we get to that, there's some stuff we need to go over. Battlefield dropped a trailer for Season 2. Let's take a peek.
Incoming strike in your vicinity. Move!
J-Dams. Whatever happened to artillery strikes? I remember those in Battlefield 2. When the squad leader could call in artillery strikes. Gas mask, baby. Oh, hell yeah, baby. The little bird's back. And motorcycles, man, that is too cool. Check that out.
Time to get that mask on.
Limited time engagement. I wonder why. Ouch. And again, a limited time mode. Nightfall. This looks awesome. Why would they only make it limited? Okay, guys and gals, February 17th, the SeaBear will be online, and I will be online early. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Hopefully it brings some of the players that we've lost back. I know we've had a 90% drop. I'm hoping that Season 2 starts bringing some of them back. One other video, well, there's a couple other videos, but the next video, I saw it today. And I just thought it was a hoot and a half, and I thought I would share it with you.
Oh, dear Lord!
That's classic!
You spin my head right round when you go down, down.
You spin my head right around when you go down,
Hey, walk out the house with my swagger, hop in that whip, yo, I got places to go. People to see, time is precious, I look at my Cartier out of control. Just like my mind where I'm going, the women, the shorties know nothing but clothes. No stopping at my Pirelli's on, unlike my jewelry that's always on. I know the storm is coming, my pockets keep telling me it's gonna shower. Call up my homies, it's on and popping the night cause it's meant to be ours. We keep a fadeaway shot cause we ballin' and spittin' up Patron every hour. Look mama, ow, you just like the flowers. Girl, you the truth with all that goody power. You spin my head right round when you go down, down.
You spin my head right around when you go down,
From the top of the pole, I watch her go down. She got me throwing my money up. Ain't nothing more time. Top of the pole, I watch her go down. She got me throwing my money up. Ain't nothing more beautiful to me. It's going down. Hey, Charlie must know I'm the man. My money lover like the #1 fan. Don't open my mouth, let her talk to my fans. My Benjamin Franklin's. A couple of grands, I got rubber bands. My paper planes making a dance. Get dirty, I'm like that's part of my. We building castles that's made out of. Tell me whatever and I'll be your chauffeur. 'Cause you spin my head right round when you go down, when you go down, down.
You spin my head right round when you go down, when you go down.
From the top of the pole, I watch her go down. She got me throwing my money around. Ain't nothing more beautiful to be found. It's going down, down. From the top of the pole, I watch her go down. She got me throwing my money around. Ain't nothing more beautiful to be found. It's going down, down. Yeah, I'm spending my money. I'm out of control. Somebody help me. She taking my bankroll, but I'm king of the club, and I'm wearing a crown. Popping these bottles, touching these bottles, watching they asses go boom.
You spin my head right round when you go down, when you go down.
If that party were real, I would give my left nut to have been a member or been able to partake in it. Wow, that looked awesome. All right, so I can't help it, man. I just thought that video was great. I also like Florida. I'll probably get dinged on it, but I'm not monetizing anyways. I see no point in torturing you guys with commercials for a couple hundred views. As you know, after the friends and denial and betrayal video went up, I had a couple of guys asking me, like, you know, where did I learn my sense of honor from? Let's see. First off, I think this next video gives a good idea of honor, and it pretty much sums up the way I see it. Let's take a peek.
Honor, indeed. Burglar-proof, fool-proof, weather-proof, 100-proof honor. Everything else is subject to the powers that be, dependent upon the caprices of often inferior men. But your honor is your own, inviolate.
And that pretty much sums it up. By the way, extra bonus points for anybody that can tell me what movie that came from. I was raised by a man who drilled into me that a man is only as good as his word. That if you broke your word, then no one would ever trust you. And that, you know, without trust, right, life is shallow and bitter. You know, going through life knowing that there are people who would look upon you as being a liar or a cheat or a thief. He instilled in me from a young age that lesson, that honor was important. And, you know, that question that was posed to me the other night, it was actually during gameplay, one of the squad guys asked me. And it made me start thinking, you know, I need to put out a video about the 4 different types of men in the world. There's the alpha, beta, gammas, and deltas. The alphas are the leaders. And in my world, in my worldview, an alpha needs to have guidelines on how to live his life. If you are an alpha, if you are a leader, if you are the type of men who would grab a rifle to defend your family, to defend your country, to defend the Constitution, to defend your honor, then you are an alpha. And there needs to be guidelines. You know, alphas are powerful people. They, you know, men flock to them in times of crisis and hardship because they know the alphas will defend them, will save them, will guide them, will lead them. And I believe that an alpha needs a set of rules, and those rules is honor. A man of power needs to be honorable. He needs to have guidelines to, you know, to be a good man, right? An alpha needs to be a good man. Alphas, this goes into another video. Maybe I'll tie it on here. I believe that there are 3 types of people in the world. There are wolves who take advantage of people. There are sheep, which is the vast majority of people. And there are sheep dogs that protect the sheep from the wolf. Of those 3, 2 of them are alphas. The wolves are alphas, and the sheepdogs are alphas. And if you live your life by honor, by a code of honor, then you are the sheepdog. You are the defender. You are the protector. You are the leader that takes society to the next level. If you are a man of no honor, then you are the wolf. You use your innate personality, your God-given skills to motivate and drive people for nefarious purposes. You are a taker. You take advantage for your own benefit rather than the benefit of yourself or your family. So that's kind of the way I view it. And I believe myself to be an alpha. I believe myself to be a leader. One of the guys asked me if I'd ever had a psych eval done. Yeah, actually I did. My last corporate job, they actually sent out questionnaires, like for a cursory psych evaluation to determine, who were the leaders, who were going to be the sellers on teams, etc. And I have a copy of it somewhere. I'm going to have to dig it out, but I will never forget this. I showed it to my friends and my family, and it actually said that I was born to lead men into battle. It said that on the eval. I took great pride in that. So that's where I view the world. I believe myself to be honorable, and I believe myself to be an alpha, and I am absolutely a guard dog. You come after my family, you're in for a fight. You come after my country, you're in for a fight. You come after my Constitution, you are in for a fight. I will defend it to the death. There was a saying about death before dishonor. I honestly believe that. I'd prefer death before dishonor. And I know that makes me a rarity. It makes me probably a freak in this society. But that's what I believe. I can't stand liars. I don't associate with them. I don't associate with cheats or thieves. They will never climb my pyramid to friendship. By the way, speaking of that pyramid, just a quick recap for those who didn't see the video on Monday. The pyramid at the very bottom is the betrayed. Those who have betrayed me, betrayed my trust. And then above those are acquaintances. And then above acquaintances is friendly acquaintances. And then above that is the forgiven betrayed. And then there is friends, the best good friends, and then the best friend. And of course, my wife is at the absolute pinnacle above them all. But after having a conversation with the guys, I have come to the conclusion that I need another tier between the friendly acquaintances and friendship, or there needs to be something in there. So I have decided, and I'm gonna go off from your feedback, that there needs to be something in the middle, like a lieutenant friendship, like a lieutenant colonel, lieutenant general, or a provisional friend, or a probationary friend, or a insert adjective here, right? Something between a friendly associate, right? You've climbed above the friendly associates, but I haven't quite given you full trust, right? I'm not going to call you and say, hey, I just killed a guy, right? Again, example. That level of trust hasn't been achieved, but you're higher than a friendly acquaintance. So I'm thinking provisional, provo, call him a provo friend, pro friend, PF, right? That's what I'm kind of thinking of. You guys have a better adjective, put it in the comments below. And to the guys on the squad who got a little offended or a little hurt that I didn't consider them friends, again, I'll say it again, guys. Do we really know each other? Where I will call you up saying, "Grab a shovel, help me hide a body." I don't know that you guys have achieved that level of trust with me. I enjoy your company. I enjoy playing with you guys greatly. But like I said, you're friendly acquaintances. A couple of you are a little higher than that, but you haven't hit that friendship. So that's what made me think that I need something in the middle there. Lieutenant friend, provisional friend, friends in waiting. Like ladies in waiting, something along those lines. As for the questions as to what the guy did on my mail server, I'm not going to go into detail on a public forum, but if it isn't outright illegal, it is very borderline illegal, depending on what state you're in. And yeah, he's history. I've deleted the accounts. All that stuff is gone. And don't ask me. I'm not going to tell you guys what he did. As for the comments regarding my, quote unquote friend who put me in a hard financial position, a lot of comments about 70 grand being a lot of money. Yes and no, depends on where you're at in life. To this guy, 70 grand was not a lot. And we had been friends for a decade, and he knew I was good for it. So if you think that that's the reason why, I will say it again. If the situation were reversed, had I the money and he came to me asking for the money, and there are several options, right? If I didn't want to commit to it outright, I'd have been like, well, I got to check the numbers. I got to run the numbers. I need to, talk to my wife about it and make sure everything's cool, because, we are talking, a loan of with payment plans and interest. And, I need to review the numbers. There's a lot of things you could have said rather than, yeah, man, go ahead and sign the contracts. I got your back. Right. That put me in a hard position, right? Pen had touched paper. And then I had to back out of the deal, and he just he wasn't involved. He just stood to the side and watched the show as I'm scrambling, trying to repair the situation. And to me, that was a betrayal. I mean, there were a lot of other things he could have said or done that I would not have held against him. Hey, I ran the numbers. I can't justify it. I talked to the wife. We're uncomfortable with it. Anything but, yeah, man, I got your back, right? Maybe it was poor choice of words, but he put me in a hard spot, and I don't know if he just blamed his wife for him, backing out, or I don't know. We never conversed about it. And I used to talk to that guy every single day. I used to call him every day. I used to talk to him. And he burned me, and now we might text back and forth a couple times a month maybe, and it's a shame. I really like the guy. I just can never trust him again. So those are the kind of points that I wanted to touch on and kind of address, and I hope that answers any questions. Let me know in the comments section below. Do you want me to do an entire video dedicated on the 4 different types of men and the 3 different types of people in the world? The men being alpha, beta, gamma, deltas, and then the 3 types of people in the world being sheepdogs, wolves, and sheep. I could do a whole 20-minute spiel on that. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that should take care of this Fridays. This is SeaBear out.